Blind Industries and Services of Maryland, BISM, works to employ, educate, and rehabilitate the blind and visually impaired members of our community. They have cutting and sewing factories right here in Salisbury, which create uniforms for the military. The goal for these operations is to be a profitable business while also creating employment opportunities for the blind and visually impaired. Paul, one of the supervisors of the cutting facility located in Salisbury, describes the cutting process.
First off, the material arrives, and then it's unloaded into the warehouse. And when the material comes in, there are different shade lots within the materials. So they'll separate those. Then once the orders are taken to the floor, they'll call for the type of material that they need for that particular order. It's taken out. They load it onto the spreading machines. Once they get their size, they'll pull the actual pattern, mark it out on the table, and then once the pattern is set up on the table, they spread the material to that specified length and then the specified ply height. Once that's complete, it gets carried to the front of the table. They turn the air on, it kind of floats the material up the table, sort of like air hockey. Once it's there, the machine operator will get it, pull it up onto the machine, bring up the proper file to execute the cut, start the cut, and then the operator just watches the machine as it cuts each pattern part to make sure that everything's cutting well. It is a machine, it's not perfect all the time. They've got to be ready to stop the machine if it does have a hang-up. As long as everything's good, if the process goes smoothly, you've got the people in the front that will actually offload the parts. They check them against the pattern to make sure that the cut quality is good. Once the cut quality is verified, they're separated into the different box quantities that the facilities need to receive. It's packed up, palletized, and put in the warehouse and waited for it to be shipped out.
The cutting facility was outfitted with blind-friendly equipment in the late 90s and has been continually updated as technology has progressed. The specialized equipment can be as simple as a computer program designed to provide extreme close-ups of the screen for a visually impaired person who would not be able to read the screen otherwise. Vaughn Parker, an associate at the Salisbury cutting facility, says it is just like second nature to him.
Zoom text, it actually enlarges print or things on the computer screen. It makes it easier for me to navigate because you can make the pointer bigger or different colors depending on what color suits you best. And the magnification, I can't remember how far up, I mean how large you can make the things, but it's pretty big. But that helps to assist me with doing my job. My job is a cutter operator. I also help with delegating other duties as far as the cutters themselves. I program a computer which runs a cutting machine that cuts material like in plies. I think as many plies as like 104.
BISM employs over 600 people, a third of whom are blind or visually impaired. They work in various operations, including manufacturing, retail, administration, and management. Randy tells us about his experience coming to work for BISM.
Never had any jobs. Well, I had one other than this, but this is the best job I ever had. I've been here 26 years. Started as I was putting grommets in a hood. Hard to explain, like the hoods, that metal piece, I started doing that over Northwood.
Oh yes, before I came to BISM, all I really did was sit home and pretty much collect the check. I wasn't happy with that. I wanted something to do. I wanted to make things more meaningful as far as my life, especially when I had kids. So I went through doors and I found out about BISM. And I was a little bit reluctant at first because I didn't know if I'd be able to do it, but I wanted to do something. And that was back in '97. And basically, from that day forth, I've been working here. I've done things like bought a house. I was able to put money away for retirement, stuff like that. So I've pretty much been able to support a family with 4 children.
BISM provides a service to the blind and visually impaired communities in Southern Maryland and the Delmarva area that is sorely needed. BISM and their facilities prove that it takes only a few simple adjustments to allow for blind and visually impaired people to thrive in their employment.